The Legend of the Scarecrow. Once upon a time, there was a scarecrow who had no friend. He worked in a wheat field. It was no difficult job, but indeed it was lonely with nobody to talk to. His day and nights were endless. The only thing he could do was to watch the crows. Each time they flew by, he'd wave them, but they would never answer. It was like if they were afraid of him. One day, the scarecrow did something forbidden. He offered the crows some seeds. Nevertheless, the crows didn't care at all. The scarecrow wondered why no one wanted to be his friend. The time passed until in a cold night, a blind crow fell at his feet. The crow was so hungry. The scarecrow decided to take care of him. After several days, the blind crow got better. Before saying goodbye, the scarecrow asked why the crowd would never be friends with the scarecrows. Crow answered that the job of the scarecrow was to scare the poor crowds that just wanted to eat. They were evil and the scarecrows are a monsters. Offended, the scarecrow replied that he was not evil. Once again, the scarecrow was left with no friends. That night, the scarecrow decided to change his life. He woke his master up and told him that he wanted a different job, that he didn't want to scare the crops anymore. The master woke all the neighbors. He told them his scarecrow was alive. They looked for him and they found him in a windmill that was on fire. The blind crow was near the windmill. Then the crow told them that he was the good scarecrow and that he saved his life. Moved by the story, the crows wanted to save the scarecrow. But it was too late, and they could not do anything. The scarecrow burned. The crows waited for dawn, and when the flames extinguished, they went up to remains of the windmill. They took the ashes of the scarecrows and they flew high up, very high. And from the highest, they dispersed the ashes through the air. The wind carried the ashes and across the town. The ashes flew side by side with all the crows. This way, the scarecrow never had to be alone again, because his ashes now were flying with all his new friends. In memorial to the tragical death of Scarecrow, the blind crow and his friends decide to dress in mourning. And for that reason, To this day, all the crows are black. To commemorate the death of the scarecrow who wanted to be friends with the crows,